Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you too.
Hello.
Hi. So people are joining us. Can you see the presentation?
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe we can start. Today is our second session, CLIL lessons. Yeah, and we will talk about Superminds 3, 4, and 5. A lot of topics to cover today. Well, I will try to do it briefly, so to give you some time to create your own CLIL lessons. So I will skip some files, some slides that we covered last time. So I think you remember the tips, yes, for these lessons. So we can start with the first topic that I have chosen. It is musical instruments. And there are two problems, actually. The first is that students don't like music and they don't like speaking about instruments. And the second, that the text is boring. And, well, maybe we can choose something else to watch, or maybe we can not use the student's book itself. So what are my ideas about this? If students don't like speaking about music, so don't speak about it, speak about musical instruments, because it's more interesting and you need to find a way to present the topic. So you can bring real ones if you have, yes, and allow students to play, to touch, and so on. Or we can cut the pictures of these musical instruments in pieces to make some kind of puzzles. Yes, or play hangman to guess the words, and so on. So we need to engage our students somehow. Well, as for the text, I believe that it is not boring because, well, the paragraphs are rather short and they mainly explain the nature of the instruments. Yes, so they tell what they do. And of course, if you don't like this text, you can find another one or a video, yes, to present this material. That's your choice. You can do it. So the next topic is food chains. The problem is that food chains are vague. Uninteresting presentation of the topic is taking place. Well, I don't think that the presentation is like vague, because for me, it's rather understandable. So, but if you don't like these pictures, of course, you can find other examples. You may draw your things on the board or print something. Well, here we need to start with the sun energy. Yes, so we say that plants get energy from the sun. Then, for example, snails eat these plants and get energy from them. Then the lizards eat snails and get energy from them, and owls eat lizards and get energy from them. So I think this is not vague. So my children usually understand this, and they create their own food chains. So they have no problems. They easily understand this topic. Okay. So let's move to saving water. It is more difficult. So here are two problems: how to present the concept of water saving and water wasting. And one of the pages is full of tasks that are rather time consuming. So what should we do with the project? The question is. Okay, how to present the concepts. I believe that we may start with the explanation of the verb waste. And I usually ask my students to imagine that they have some rubles, like 5,000 or or 500 or 1,000, and I ask what will they buy, and they give lots of ideas like toys, sweets, some drinks, and so on. And yeah, usually they say sweets. So I ask them, what is better, to buy a lot of sweets and eat all of them, or maybe to buy one chocolate or a lollipop, something like this, and to put the rest of the money in the piggy bank? And they start thinking about this, what is better. And so gradually we come to the conclusion that wasting money isn't good, but saving is good, because later, the other day, you can buy another sweet and give yourself a treat. So this is how I explain this word. Then we proceed to wasting water and saving water. So when they understand the word waste, they easily understand what is meant here in the book. And as for the second question, I believe that we can skip the project here, because it's very difficult to count how many drops falling from the tap and so on. So we can assign it as homework, and in class it's better to do the quiz. So it has more educational purposes, I think. So you can discuss, they can share their ideas. Yeah, then you can count the points and see who is water waster and who is the saver. So these are my ideas. Any comments so far? Questions, maybe? No? Okay. So let's move on. Numbers. Well, I really like this topic. For me, it's quite interesting. And here there are two problems. The first is, why do they mention Fibonacci? And the second is that the topic may be difficult for those who problems with maths at school. So let's talk about Fibonacci first. We have a text that tells a story about Fibonacci numbers. So we know that he was a mathematician, and actually he was the son of an Italian merchant, and he traveled a lot around the world, and he studied a lot. For example, he studied in Algeria, and there he saw Hindu-Arabic system, numeral system, and he understood that it is quite easier than the Roman one. So it allowed easier calculation than the Roman one that they were using. Well, you can compare this. So the Roman system and Hindu-Arabic system. So which one is easier for you?
Second one.
Yeah, can you imagine these?
Looks like chemistry.
Yes, kind of. So the numbers are quite long here, and it's inconvenient, yes, to use them. So Hindu-Arabic system is really beneficial here. Okay, so he brought this idea to Europeans that they can use Arabic numerals in Europe. And he also wrote a book of calculation in which he put everything that people knew at those times. So they knew a lot of things like trial division, different theorems, rational and irrational numbers, some mathematical problems, progressions, and so on. So we study these at schools now, actually. And also we have Fibonacci sequence in the book. We can say that Fibonacci numbers is kind of sequence in which each number is the sum of the previous ones, of two previous ones. So, and usually we can start this sequence from 0 or 1, but some authors can start with 1 and 1 or 1 and 2 and so on. So this is the example, the golden one. Yeah. So 0, then 1, 1, 2, 3. You can easily see how we make the sum. Yes. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, and so on. So this sequence grows. Yes, the numbers grow. And the book wants us to finish these sequences, and I believe that students usually do not have problems with them because they're quite easy. Yeah. And I usually show this picture when I speak about numbers. Do you know what it is?
Cabbage.
Some kind of fractal structure, yeah?
Well, yes, but what is it?
It is spiral.
Yes. So is it just a picture, a toy? What is it?
It's
Like it seems like cauliflower. Looks like cauliflower.
Okay, so someone said cabbage, you say cauliflower. Actually, it is broccoli.
I wanted to say, but I was afraid to mistake you.
Don't be afraid. So this is Romanesque broccoli. And as Konstantin, if I'm not mistaken, said, yes, it looks like a fractal. We can see that these buds, yeah, are self-similar in character. So each bud consists of smaller buds placed on it, yes, and they are arranged in a kind of spiral. And we can see this logarithmic spiral, this Fibonacci number, yes, that starts with 1, 1, then 2, then 3, then 5, then 8, and so on. So we can see this spiral on this broccoli. So we can say that this is a Fibonacci number in real life. Would you like to try this? To taste it, maybe? Well, have you ever seen it maybe in shops?
Yeah.
No.
Looks like Photoshop.
Well, actually, I saw it in the market some years ago. Yeah, I was surprised to see it and a bit confused what was it, because it looked like a pyramid with lots of pyramids on it. And I couldn't dare to buy it and cook. But later, I tried to read about this, and I found that it was okay. So the taste is rather nice. So it's like broccoli, but a bit milder and creamier. And then I wanted to buy it, but they were all sold. So, and now I don't know where we can find this. But still, if you have a chance to buy please, and then you will share your experience. Okay. So as for the second problem, that some students may have difficulties with these numbers, yes, with mathematics. Well, my students usually don't have such problems because they even ask for bigger numbers. So just 10 numbers, 10 numerals, it's not enough for them. So they ask about 10, 20, 30, and so on. But it's quite difficult to calculate. So we can, well, maybe give them up to 50, yes, this L, and stop there. So the book explains how to do the calculations. Yes, so we need to substitute Roman numerals with Arabic ones, and the process gets quite easier. So then fever. The problem here is with the normal temperature. Some of you ask why 37 degrees is okay for the authors. Maybe someone knows the answer? Or it's not okay, this temperature?
I've written that that the temperature like 37.2 is considered as normal. In maybe in our countries, the tradition that 37 is not normal goes from some doctors, but in European countries and in the USA, So for them, even 37.5 is okay.
Yeah, so here we have the abstract from the English journal Medicine, quite well-known thing, and they say that the normal temperature range is typically stated as 36.5 to 37.5 degrees. So it depends on the part of the day, and so it can vary from person to person. Yes, so different age groups, maybe people have some health problems and so on, but this is the normal range.
I think I know why.
Why?
In New England, it's much warmer, and people's blood is a little bit warmer. Maybe.
So, but we use it, and actually, if you have thermometers at home and you have manuals, yeah, for them, you can read these instructions, and they say that 37 is okay, it's normal temperature. You are not sick.
I always have 37.
Really?
Yeah.
At any part of the day?
Yeah, when coronavirus started, I thought I was ill, but since that time, my body temperature has changed. I can have 37.5 and I don't feel it, and it's okay.
So it's true.
Yeah.
We have the proof.
Maybe it's because of high blood pressure.
Maybe.
No, I have low blood pressure.
Oh.
Yeah. But I always have 37. So doctor say it's okay.
Well, it is okay. The journal says, the doctor says, and Lena has it. So we believe, we conclude that it is okay. So the next is origami. The problem is that the lexis is complicated to read and to get. Okay, so here we have the text, and well, I found only 4 words that can be rather difficult for children, and to explain them, we can use gestures or pictures or synonyms. So, well, my children, when we were talking about origami, didn't have problem with this. I believe if you can do the same, you won't have problems as well. So the topic is quite easy, and you can take a piece of paper, yes, and show the process. So the next topic, seasons and hemispheres. Yeah, this is quite difficult because concept may be unfamiliar for students even in their native language, Russian. So I believe that we can start with explanation of words sphere and hemisphere. We can show some pictures, yes, or maybe we can draw this. We can start with our planet. It is round, it's a sphere. So if we cut it in half, it is half sphere. Then we can revise directions like north, south, east, and west, and we can show the picture with 2 hemispheres and ask them what they can see, what continents, yes, what oceans. So they discuss this. Then we can read the text in the book and answer the questions about these hemispheres. Or then we need to explain that the planet rotates around its own axis, so that our planet doesn't stay straight, yes, so it is tilted on its axis. And here we can explain the change of day and night, so how it happens. We can say that it is because of the rotation of the Earth on its axis, yes, so different parts of the Earth get sun rays at certain moments. So they usually know this. And then we need to explain how seasons change. Here we can bring a reality like a globe, or we can print a picture of our planet, yes, and draw a sun or print it again, yes, and we can move the planet around the sun. So they could see which part of our planet gets more heat. Yes, so if it is the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere. So if it is the northern one, so the summer is there. Yes, if it is the southern, the summer is in this part of planet. So when they see the picture, I think it's easier, yes, for them to understand. And then after our explanation on the board, we can proceed to the task in the book. So we read the text and they need to number the pictures. So in here we can see whether they understand this topic or not. After this, when they finished, we can move to the text about different countries. They read and they understand the changes of seasons, and now they can finish the task and write the correct countries here. So this is my idea. So maybe you have some comments on it, how to explain this change.
Yes, thank you for detailed explanation, because it's like this is a complicated topic for me to explain even in Russian, but thank you. Just to widen my horizons.
Okay, so let's move on then.
A key fact here to explain is that seasons in the northern hemisphere are opposite to those in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah, so that's why we need to show them where the sun rays are. Yeah. Okay, so the next is life and art. Well, some students are not interested in art, and the question is, maybe we should find more information about paintings, or maybe more paintings. So what I think, well, I think that we can find more pictures and we can ask students to describe them. We can give them this plan, we can draw something on the board, yes, a picture, and we can describe it like in the foreground, I see, for example, a woman, yes, in the background, I see the forest, in the bottom left corner, I see something. Well, we did it in our summer camps, and students really loved this. They asked for more pictures to describe, because when they have the plan, yes, so they see that they can speak. Yeah, not just tree, woman, something like this, but their speech is more profound. Yeah, so they really like and ask for more. So if you want, you can try this.
Marianne, can I share my experience about this lesson? Just one thing to say. What I did was I prepared some paintings that they knew from their literature classes. For example, Three Bogatirs, or Alyonushka by the river. Yeah, so, and I searched for the lesson plans in literature in the 4th and 5th grade. And I remember from my classes. So, and when they saw the paintings they familiar with, so they were very happy and they were eager to describe them.
Yeah, maybe we need to find what they knew. Yes, something familiar. Good idea. Thank you, Tamar. Okay, so let's move on. Museums. So here we have museums and the time capsule. Why the time capsule appears here? Actually, I don't know, because I'm not the author of the book. So these are only my guesses. Maybe the idea was that museum contains interesting or unique objects from the past or the present. So here students are asked to create a kind of their own museum, which is called time capsule. Yes, like a museum for future generations. So maybe this is the connection, I don't know. But still, why not create a time capsule? We can't create a museum in our lessons, yeah, but with time capsule, it's quite possible. Okay, the next topic is forces, a rather difficult one, same as hemispheres. So students might face some difficulties with understanding the physics, especially gravity and friction here. What we can do, we need to start with explanation of gravity. So we can say that it is the force that pulls everything towards the center of our planet. And we can compare this with a game of tug of war. Do you know this game? No.
Yes.
This is the game where people pull the rope. Yeah.
That was one of the stories in Supermind.
Yes, yes, we had it in Superminds too, actually. Yes, so students usually know this game, but if they are newcomers, you can explain it.
There is also a picture in the same pages like on forces.
Yes, so we can just show. So we can compare it, yes, with the game. And here the Earth is always the winner because it pulls stronger. So we can't win the Earth. And also we can show them two pictures, for example, with a ball and a watermelon, and ask, what is heavier? The watermelon is, of course, heavier. So, and if the object is large and heavy, it has the strongest pull. So they are being pulled strongly towards the center of the Earth, and lighter objects are not being pulled so strongly. So we can easily lift them. With the friction, so we say that it is the force which is produced between two surfaces when they are rubbing or sliding against each other. So here you can show a picture like this. So the man is trying to pull a carton box, and here we have this, I think, concrete, yes, material, concrete floor. So the force of friction always works in the opposite direction of the movement. So he moves to the left, but the force of friction goes to the right. So we can easily understand this, and you can ask them to pull some objects using a rug or on the floor, yes. So what is easier, or maybe on the desk, yes. So what is easier, what slides? And then we can ask them a question. What is easier, walking on the road or walking on ice? So actually it's the question for you too. What is easier?
Walking on ice.
Why?
Because that's a tricky question.
And we have learned how to do it. I'm joking. Actually, you can sleep on ice, and that's why you can be faster.
But I think
faster, yes, but easier to walk on the road.
Yeah, because you don't have friction on ice.
So you can't walk actually on ice.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, if you do this for maybe a short time only. Yes. So the correct answer is walking on the road, because the surface of the road is rough. So, and the surface of the ice is smooth. So we can explain the difference between these adjectives here. Oh, we can also use gestures or pictures or objects, yes, but this example shows the difference, actually. In our book, we have the example with a slide. So the boy or the girl is sliding, but, well, maybe this doesn't illustrate perfectly the concept. I think walking on the road and on ice is better.
It's like asking which is heavier, 1 kilo of iron or 1 kilo of wax?
Yeah, the same. A kilo. Okay, so let's proceed to crime fiction. So we have 3 problems here. Students are not interested in detective stories, so how to present the material. Students don't know who Agatha Christie and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle were, and they might have problems with writing their own crime stories because they lack ideas. So let's deal with the first one. I think that we can read a comic or play a short game or give a task which involves solving a crime at the beginning of the lesson. For example, these 2 pictures. The first is before burglary, so you can say what did the robbers see when they entered the room? Yes, like TV. What else? Some fruit. Yeah, some documents maybe, yes, and then you can ask about the police. What did they find? Yes, after some period of time.
Are we teaching them to become robbers?
No, detectives.
Okay.
Well, why not? We can discuss this. If we set a topic and we can start with well, what have thieves found? Yeah, well, maybe it will be more engaging for the students. Well, they can imagine that they are thieves.
Because it's something unusual.
So it's unusual, but
they like unusual things.
Yeah, so when it is something strange, something new, they like it. So it's more interesting and they can participate more eagerly here. Or you can ask them about some cartoons. For example, this one, Zootopia, if I'm not mistaken. So there was a detective. Then we can ask them who these people are, and maybe they have something in common. So they can look at the pipes, the heads. Maybe they know some of these people. Do you know these people?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So what do they have in common?
they are famous detectives.
They're Sherlock's.
So actually, it is one. Yes, it is one detective. So we can say that there are 3 images of Sherlock Holmes and ask, was he a real person or not? And listen to the answers. Then we can move on and read the text in the book and discuss who was real, who was not. We can draw the attention to these dates. Yes, so if there are dates, the person was real. And you can personalize the topic, tell, for example, that you like reading detective stories, that you read them every day, or maybe you watch some TV series or films, yes, so engage them somehow. And the last task here is to create a crime story. So what to do with lacking ideas? Well, we can brainstorm ideas all together with the class. We can create mind maps with places and crimes. Yeah. We can ask them to work in pairs, so maybe in groups for this task. And of course, we need to show them the example. So I usually do like this. So I demonstrate this on this board, on the screen, and I change the words in this story. So this is my story. Like Inspector George is from London. This story takes place near the jewelry shop. The owner of the shop finds a dead woman near the shop. One of the people in the shop heard a shout outside. The rich woman is killed and the shop assistant is missing. So I think it's quite easy. So if you help, especially if you brainstorm ideas, students have no problems with this. Actually, I didn't have much opportunities to finish this task with my groups because we always lack time. And some years ago, we did it with only one group, but it was okay. So they were interested in detectives and they could write their own stories. So what do you think? Do you like this?
Yeah, it's okay.
What would you do? How would you do this task with writing?
Actually, we could use like to show, for example, the episode of a very old film, which is called CLIL, if I'm not mistaken, when there was a group of people collected in one room, gathered in one room, and then the light is switched off and one person is killed, if I'm not mistaken, and then they try to understand what is happening. And they might write the story like the same as in this film. For example, there is a professor or a who is he, rich man. People are going to celebrate, I don't know, the birthday of this person. They gathered in one room, and what happened? And then call the police and try to investigate the crime, but it's for high level, I suppose.
And was this crime solved?
Finally, yeah.
In the film, yes?
Yeah. And there is a game, board game like this, you can also use it.
And how long is the film?
Oh, it's very old one, and the film is about around 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken.
So you suggest showing only the part of it?
Only the episode, yeah, when they gather and the lights are off and one person is killed.
So you can do it at the beginning, as I told. Yes, so you can play something or maybe to show this short video, yes, to engage them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the idea. Maybe I will try this. So the next, how we make sounds. The problem here is that it is difficult to explain the concepts of louder and higher for those who has never played musical instruments. In our books, we have a nice recording, which really helps with understanding. So it has sounds and explains how they are produced. So we need to listen to it and number the pictures. And usually students understand perfectly well what is going on. Then we can do the experiment using our hands or two metal spoons, yes? When the hands or spoons are close to each other, the sound is quiet and low. So we can show, yes, we can put our hands like this, yeah, and try to clap. So the sound is rather quiet. But if our hands or the spoons are far from each other, the sound is louder and higher like this. Yes, maybe you can hear this. You can try this. Yeah, so here it's quiet and loud. They will understand this. Then map reading. Map reading may be difficult as students haven't studied it at school yet and they have no ideas how to measure the map. I believe that we can revise the directions first and then show them a real map and the scale. So we have here the screenshot from Yandex Maps. Here we have our studio. And this is the scale. So here we have 20 meters. So the length of this line is 20 meters in reality. And we can discuss places that we have nearby. Like we have the Christmas tree here in the park. We have some shops, yes, jewelry shop or clothes shop, yes, some beauty salons, and so on. Then we can ask students how to come from our studio, how to get from our studio to the tree. And we can draw this line if it is a picture, yes, printed picture, or we can show them this screenshot and they need to count. So maybe they can use rulers, maybe they can use their fingers, maybe they can do it in their heads, inside heads. Well, how many meters between our studio and the third tree? So what about you? What do you think? How many meters we have to walk to get?
About 100.
Yeah, actually, yeah. The correct answer is 110 meters. Yeah, so we can check it using the maps. I think they will understand this, and it won't take a long time, yes, to calculate this, especially if it is a place that they know and they usually go to this place. So they know that it's not long and it's quite close to the office. The similar tasks we have in our books. So there is a map with the routes, and students are asked to count some things. For example, true-false task. To get from the beach to the lighthouse, you have to drive more than 15 kilometers. Yes, so we need to draw the attention that here is 5 kilometers. Yes, so how to count this? What about you? What do you think? Is it true or false? To get from the beach to the lighthouse, you have to drive more than 15 kilometers. This is the lighthouse.
True.
This is the beach. True. Well, why is it true? Konstantin, share, please. How did you do that?
Simply visually.
So you can count these squares, yes. Then, for example, to get from the museum to the ferry, you have to drive about 3 kilometers. This is the ferry. This is the museum.
False.
It's false, yeah. So,
like there is more than 3 kilometers, yeah?
Yeah, because the museum is here, so we can count like a half of this square, like 2 kilometers, and this, and here the part, yes, so it's more.
Yeah, okay.
So I think they will understand this. Then next is rhythm. Here we have difficult musical terms. Yeah, I was struggling yesterday with this while I was preparing, because I don't know anything about music, rhythm and notes. But what I have discovered that the length of time that a note is played is called its note duration. So here you have some notes, yeah, these are the symbols. And we can say that, for example, this note duration is 4 seconds. Of course, it can be any duration, so it's just to ease the understanding for you. So let's look how these notes are called. So this one is the whole note. It's the longest one. Then we have half note. So if the whole note is 4 seconds, half note is 2 seconds. And we need like to use 2 half notes to cover the same period of time as a half note. Then we have quarter note that we have in the book. It is called crotchet. So we need 4 of them to create the whole note, yes, the same duration. Then we have 8th note, quaver. We also have it in the book. And then we have 17th note and some others. We need to explain students that when the note is shorter, it is faster. So the whole note is rather slow, and others are faster, 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 faster. Okay. Here is the example. We have crotchets and quavers. These are quavers. And let's try to do this. So if these notes are like la, 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 so these are la, 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 like this. So at the same period of time, you need to say 2 notes. Yes?
Yeah, and look, if we say it in Russian, like the crotchet, четверть, we say like раз, и. And when we're speaking about this, how we say, восьмушка quivers, yeah, we say 1, 2, like this, раз, и, you see? With crochet, we sit на и, 1, и, yes, раз, и. С восьмушками мы и простукиваем, 1, и, like this, раз, и.
I'm terribly sorry, something happened with the connection. So can you hear me?
Yes.
And see? Yes. Okay, Natasha, could you repeat, please?
Yes, I know some of these rules, so these notes, yeah. And so that's when we speak about quarters, crochets, they are четвертушки, we should sit while saying и, раз, и. Like раз, и. This is четверть. And when we say this la 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 with clovers, yeah, we say раз и. This is one crochet. Одна четверть, две восьмушки. Раз и, два и. Вот так будет.
Well, now I got confused, really confused by this explanation.
Ну, чтобы посчитать, что одна четверть, сколько, как посчитать в одной четверти две восьмушки. И надо добавить. Раз и четверть, раз и две восьмые. Вот так.
I think my example is easier.
I think if you have students who deal with music, everything will be okay.
Actually, I have some of them, but they don't know what crochet is.
Okay.
Ну, yes, I see. Но просто как вот в твоем примере 4 четверти вы отстучите, а потом все восьмушки вы отстучите. Где ритм будет? Чтобы ритм поймать, нужно и добавлять. Ну, так вот музыканты считают. Просто.
Well, I don't know how they do. Okay, but well, we can clap. Yes, we like clap like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this. At the same period of time, we do 2 claps. So I understand like this without e and so on. So the book offers us to use claps, as I did, and the words to make the rhythm. So here, for example, we have 2 short claps. Yes, 2 claps, 2 claps, 2 claps, 2 claps. And it, for example, is a snake. So we say snake, 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 snake. Or 1 clap, it is a monkey, like monkey, snake, and they understand this rhythm. Yeah, so we can choose other words, some fruit, or maybe what's like some gadgets and so on, and to try to create this rhythm.
You should say rhythm.
Rhythm. And also I have found a video that can show you how to maybe present this topic. Well, maybe you have seen this on TikTok or Instagram, so it's quite popular. So let's watch it. So what about the sound? I will try to start again. So can you see? So in this video, we can see that in the same period of time, so she can clap only once or twice, yes, or maybe to touch the desk. So it's nice.
Share the video somehow.
Okay. I will do this later.
Thank you so much. I really love it.
Yeah, it's nice. So the next is town planning. So we need to teach lots of ideas in a short time, and we need to present them logically and in an interesting way. So we can start with asking a question: what places they usually visit? We can create a mind map or write a list on the board. We can tick places that we have in our town, yes, and highlight others and ask why they are not in our town. Maybe because we don't visit them very often. So they come to the conclusion that it's impossible to build everything in the same area. Yeah, so we can say that map planners have to decide which places are more important. For example, the water park. Is it really important for us? Do we go there every day? No. So maybe it's not a good idea to have it next to your house. Yes. Then we can read this text and discuss. And after reading the text, we can write down some key ideas. So which places we need? Places to live, places to work and study. Then we need transportation system and other things. Yeah. And we can ask them to make a group project, divide them into groups, and they try to make their own towns using a free paper. Maybe they can do it on the board if you have several in the classroom. And they try to include all these places in their maps. And then they present what they have. So this is my idea. I would use this if I have time. So then fractions. Problem is that students aren't familiar with such math calculations. Well, usually students are in grade 5 or 6 and they know these math calculations, but still we can start with picture of pizza on the board and divide it into 6 parts. So one pizza has 6 pieces, so we can say that the whole pizza looks like this, yeah, 6/6. And then we start eating. So we take out one piece and we explain that it is 1/6, and we have 5 more. So 5 pieces, these are 5/6. And gradually we eat other pieces and they say the fractions. So they usually understand this, and you can print a lot of materials using these pizzas to practice. Any ideas here?
5 out of 6, right?
No, we can say 5/6. In the book, we have 6.
And we can bring real pizza.
Oh, yes, why not? So, and now I would like you to work in pairs and to create your lesson plans as we did previously. I'm going to share the link. To the document. Second. Check, can you open this?
Yeah,
it works. So there are 8 parts. So let's divide into groups. So 2 or 3 participants. So the number of your breakout room is the number of your page, okay, of your group. So let's start. You will have like 10-15 minutes to prepare, okay? Okay, welcome back. So I hope you had enough time.
Yep.
And let's start with the first group. It's Elena, Kate, and Olga.
Yeah,
So demonstrate
probably
the screen, okay?
demonstrate. I've already closed. Just a moment. I will do that very quickly. Yeah, actually, we've got the topic of saving water, and we agreed on the idea that it may be difficult for us to explain kids the concept of wasting, as usually in Russia we don't really save water, we usually waste it, because there is no point of why we should save it. It's cheap, it's well, we've got quite a lot of it, so why do we? Okay, so first we agreed that we may present the idea of Lena with wasting and saving money, so that they understand what's the difference between these two words actually better. And maybe even you can give some examples, like how can you save money, how can you just like how can you save money, I don't know, presenting some kind of menus in a restaurant or some other stuff like this, so that they try to count what's better. Sometimes in this age group it works, but also it depends on a kid, yeah. And then we would present one video with let's say, so with the concept of wasting water, any kind of, for example, when you brush your teeth and you don't close the taps, or any kind of, just to present the concept of wasting water. And then we would do the quiz. We would skip the first page. We would do the quiz on the second page, which is presented here. And then we would ask such questions like, sorry, before doing the quiz, we also agreed on that we can ask, what else can you do with water? So that they give you ideas what they do actually with the water, and so that they brainstorm the ideas how they can actually use water in what ways. Yes, because actually there are quite a lot of ways we can use water. Then we go to the quiz, we do the quiz, then we discuss the results, and maybe we can also discuss their some of their family members, what they do and don't do, because actually that may be interesting for them. And then we would kind of try to scare kids, like Elena suggested, and show them the video of Africa, in order to say that if you don't save water, you may get such results. Yeah. And then we would do the project, but not the one that is suggested in the book. We would we would ask kids to make a poster in groups or in pairs in the way how you can save water, or actually you can also divide them into groups, and for one there may be ways how you can waste water, and to another one how you can save water, so that they compete somehow.
So they present their ideas, yes?
Yes,
In this competition. Okay,
that's
nice. Thank you. Thank you, very interesting. Okay, so the second group, Elena, Gulerama, and Nastya.
Okay.
Let's listen to you.
Yeah, I can demonstrate. 1 second. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we decided to start with warm up and remember seasons, but not like to enumerate them. For example, to group the months in the season. Then we decided to take globe, real globe, that can be divided into 2 parts. The first we show that is our planet. Then we divided it into 2 parts to show southern and northern hemisphere. Then
so you cut the globe or what?
No, some models of globe, a real globe,
So you can open them.
Yeah, we can open and divide.
Okay.
Then maybe we can draw beforehand sun or some model of sun. So we decided to start from exercise 1 on the second page and to explain everything about axis, about the position of the sun and changing the seasons before doing first page. Then we ask we ask questions in exercise 1. Where is Russia? And we decided not to ask like question number 2, what countries? We just name some country, and they try to find some famous countries in different hemispheres. Then so go through every question. So the first is warm up. Next, exercise 1 on the second page. We explain and then match. Then exercise 1 on the first page. What else? Yeah, and before doing exercise 2, we decided to stick these 3 countries like Japan, New Zealand, and Malaysia on the globe to demonstrate to the children where how they are situated on the globe in that they're in different hemispheres first. Can somebody continue from our group?
Yes, so after we put stickers on the globe, when we find these countries, we ask students to read the text. So they read the text, then they match the photos below the text with the name of the countries. And when we're going to discuss, we ask them to prove their answers with some information from the text. And as for exercise 2 on the second page, we think it would be easy for students because we will revise all seasons and months as the warm-up. So they complete the table about England, and after that we are going to divide them into the groups and make some kind of lottery. So we make some cards with the name of the countries, and they just take this card and try to make their own table about this country. So they write country, seasons, months, and things to do. And after that, we're going to do some presentation with their tables.
And what about this explanation? So how our planet rotates. So are you going to use the real globe there?
Yeah, a real globe and some model of sun. Maybe we can draw a picture of it. Like,
well, I have an idea. You can bring a lamp, for example. Lamp, yeah. Yes, and show how actually the sun heats our planet, yes?
Yeah, like this. We decided to make it real. Real globe, real planet.
Okay, thank you.
And maybe, yeah, you said that that we can use a rope.
Oh, yes, or ribbon. Put it around the globe.
Oh, why?
And to show them the equator, yes.
Yeah, when we divide. If we can't open the globe, we will use some rope.
Yeah, maybe some ribbon. Okay, thank you. So the next group, 3, Tamara and Natalia. Present, please.
Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. So our topic was forces. Actually, we should start with warm up as usual, yeah, and we decided to take some pictures demonstrating different forces. For example, we can take 2 pictures and like in the first exercise, but different pictures, yeah, not the same. And ask our students to explain what they can see, to describe the pictures. Then we can introduce them with the vocabulary push and pull, which is the most important words here in this unit. And also we should introduce the topic. So after we discuss the pictures that we have, the printed out pictures, yeah, we open our books and see the topic and look at the topic, yeah, and introduce the topic. That today we are going to talk about forces. Probably our students don't know this word, so we should explain, maybe show the forces. It's like strength, yeah, something like that, showing them. Then we move on to the first exercise, and here we can see that we should underline the correct prepositions, yeah, and also we should explain, look at the pictures and explain, showing the students, is the man pushing the car away from or towards him? The same with the rope. Are they pushing it? Are they pulling it towards them? Or away from? I think it will be easy for them, especially if we work with students of the 4th grade, right? The 4th grade, the 4th class. I think it won't be very difficult for them to understand this vocabulary. Then we move on to the second exercise. We work with the pictures, and they say, we show a push and we show a pull, and then we suggest the students giving their own examples of pushing and pulling. So they can add some their own examples to this list of pictures. In exercise 3, there we can see quite a difficult text, and we decided to prepare a video about Newton. I can show it. Well, it's like well,
ouch, said Newton.
Yeah, the video is very simple. The language is very slow.
Isaac was a little upset.
And can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. The language in the video is very slow, and the students can easily understand the law of Newton, the Newton's law, and this force, which is called gravity. And after that, we can move on to the text, which will be more interesting than just to read the text and work with the text. And the video is quite short, and after that, we can read the text and explain or discuss with our students the word gravity, yeah, that this is one of the forces, and the name of this force is gravity, and we write it here under the tree, yeah. And also we can even take an apple and show them that, look, the apple falls down when we drop it, yeah. Or we can ask the students, what will happen if I drop the apple? And they will say that it will fall down, yeah. And we can ask them why, yeah, why it's not flying in the air, yeah. And then they can explain that this is gravity. If they cannot explain, we should help them, of course, yeah. After that, we move on to the next exercise, which is the next text, which is even more difficult. We should explain the words rough and smooth. So we read and discuss the text. Yeah, we try to explain the words rough and smooth, the difference between them, and after that we move on to the next project, which we really like because it's not very difficult to prepare. You can just take a book and foil and a towel, and we can look at the experiment. We can make the experiment together on the table. Well, it doesn't matter. So we can do it together if there are not so many students in the class. Yeah, and we can show them that if we take an object and use a book like a slide as a slide, we can understand what happens with the object when the surface is smooth, and what will happen to the object if we take a towel, and if we use a rough surface, what will happen to the object? It will go slowly, or it will go fast. Yeah, so we can this is how we can show them and they can see this experiment with their own eyes, which is really exciting for the students. Well, and then in exercise 3, they can make their own conclusion, yeah, and we can finish the lesson with warm down. We haven't thought about it, but anyway, we should use it on our lesson. Ooh, I don't know, what can we use as a warm down, like repeat everything again, once again, what is gravity, what is smooth, what is rough, like that.
Okay, thank you. That's great that you have some time for this experiment in your lesson plan. And of course, I like the video about Newton.
Yeah, we should carefully plan. We didn't talk about timing, yeah, with my colleague. I think, well, as a professional teacher, I can say that everything will be okay. And I think that we will have some time because we have 1 hour and we will have time to discuss everything, to watch a video, and the experiment is quite fast.
Well, yeah, if you do it as a whole class activity, then yes.
Yes, of course, it's a whole class activity. Yeah, of course. No
then
other
yes.
choices. No.
Okay, thank you. Well done. So let's listen to the next group. So, Katya Grankina, you are welcome.
Hello, I'm only one.
Yes, so
Where's
your
my
partner has left, I believe.
Okay, so I haven't got the plan because Susanna has written it. Okay, so and can you help me with demonstration?
Yes, 1 second. Can demonstrate. Can you see? Yes.
Yes, I see. So we are going to start with Lydian and to brainstorm some ideas what genres we have for novels, adventure stories, and detectives. So and then stop on detective stories and ask our students what genres they like or what are their favorite genres. So after that, we will read these short texts and guess where people are real and where are they not real. So after that, we will work in groups and they will answer these questions and discuss why they like crime stories in these groups of 3 and 4. So
and if they don't like, yes,
and if they don't like crime stories and why. And they discuss it in small groups. After that, I think we will work together and listen to this text and read it in chain together, one by one. And then we will match these and after that we will I don't remember. So I think we will work at the desk or at the board. Yeah. Sorry,
you will work.
I can't remember these part of our plan.
So are you coming to the writing their own stories, or you're going to work on the board using this text about the Orient Express?
I think it's not easy for students, and we will work together at the board and work with this story, with this text.
About the murder on the Orient Express.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then we can work in our welcome notebooks to write a short summary about the story.
Will you help them with ideas?
Yes, so we can give some structures and some words that can help them.
So they will work individually?
No, we will work in pairs.
Okay, that's better. We can
That's
struggle
all.
with ideas, finding ideas.
Yes. Okay, that's all.
Sorry, can I add?
Yes,
Yes,
you
of
can,
course.
of course.
The idea came to my mind. You could, by the way, make a kind of quest or investigation, just give them the roles and let them write what they were doing, or just something, some setting, where were they, and so on, and then just do it, or some tasks, and you can give them tasks or the roles, what they were doing, and so on, and kind of quest or mafia can be
I
played.
think we can finish with a game of Mafia. And well, maybe we can start with one of my favorite games, like Who Ate the Cake, when you distribute the roles. So one person should have a card on the paper, with the writing, like you ate the cake, and others have blank pages. And they need to make sentences and accuse each other that, well, yesterday there was a cake, and someone ate it. And for example, I say that I didn't eat the cake. I was working in another office, and I think that Kate did it. And Kate says, no, I didn't eat the cake. Well, I was watching a film in the cinema, so I believe that it is Tamara, and so on. So they need to guess who ate the cake. So you can use this game here in this lesson.
Yes, it's great. So thank you for idea.
And it's great for practicing past tenses.
Thanks.
Okay, Kate, thank you. So let's move on. It is group 5, Katya and Yulia.
Your game with the cake sounds like who took the cookie from the cookie jar.
Yeah.
So we have English music lesson, and it's quite challenging for me because I went to music school many years ago, and I kind of remember something. So so we worked with Yulia, and we decided to start our lesson with little questions to our students. For example, do you like music? And are you into music? What kind of music do you listen to? So, and listen their answers. So, and then we're going to play hangman, and with the word rhythm on the board. So maybe they heard this word because it's a little bit familiar to Russian. So rhythm. So, and after that, we can, so after playing hangman, so the word rhythm. So after that, we can turn on some music or some sounds. So, and explain that it has different lengths, so it can be longer or shorter, faster, slow, and wide. So try to explain this word rhythm. And then exercise number 1. So there is a text. So they can read it to answer the question. So can you hear the rhythm of these 3 pictures? So, and what do they need to make a rhythm? After that, exercise number 2. So they listen to 3 short rhythms and write numbers 1, 3, then listen and clap. So they can, so teacher can explain that, for example, big S is for snake, or double X is for monkey, and try to demonstrate this rhythm by knocking on the desk or clapping hands. So, and they can repeat it. So, and we can maybe try to use instead of animal words, for example, fruit words like apple, melon, or apple, orange for these signs.
It can be a kind of game. So let's make a fruit salad.
Yes,
Apple, banana, and so on.
Fruit rhythm, yes. For example, I fix these signs on the board. So, and they and say, let's repeat this rhythm by knocking on the desk. For example, take your pens and let's do it like a drum playing. So, and then I can suggest them to make their try to make their own rhythm. For example, let's do it with jungle animals or farm animals or something like that. So, and moving on. So after that, we can divide our students into small groups or in pairs, so to create their own rhythm and to fix it in their notebooks or on the paper. So try to use different words for these signs then, and then they will demonstrate it after, and other group is going to try to copy it. So maybe Julia will continue.
Well, actually, we didn't have time to cover the second page, the other page. So I don't know.
So we can show the video. So as you shared with us from the YouTube.
Yeah, it's in the chat box.
Yeah,
so
I think it's very clear to understand, to have clear understanding about rhythm. So, and as for the second picture, we can make a presentation about notes. That notes is the way we write music, like so there are full notes. So even we can maybe download some app on the phone. There is a piano as a remember, and we can demonstrate what is whole note or half note. So that the difference is the different length, so or duration.
So if you know how to play the piano, then you can. Well,
yes,
I have no idea.
I have some skills, so I think that will be a good idea to demonstrate it not on the real keyboard, but on the app. So there is a piano app, as I know. So I think this is a good way to demonstrate it. So, and or try to clap each note, and so like you have already said. So there are whole notes, so which is 4 seconds, so they can even count, for example, or there is a half note, so explain it, so and demonstrate it. So clapping or using an app, so maybe the same way, and try to do exercise number 1. So.
Oh, Yelena is writing, you can use the video and make the battle.
Oh, yeah, great idea. So, and try to do exercise number 2, try clapping each one of these rhythms, then listen and check. So maybe it would be confusing for students who are not into music, but it will be interesting maybe.
Yeah, the topic is rather difficult, but still, so if we start doing it, yeah, we can use this video, a funny one. We can use our hands, yes, and clap, and we can use these words like stink monkey or fruit words. So we can make it like funnier for students. Yeah, so it's rather difficult with these crotchets and other things. Well, when I see them, I don't want to have this lesson at all. But when something easier comes up, then.
So, and at the end of the lesson, we can listen to maybe a piece of music, maybe no music, and try to clap the rhythm together.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe some.
Or maybe they can clap. They can clap the rhythm of their favorite songs.
Yeah,
yes, like
song.
to play this game, guess the melody.
Yeah. Clapping the rhythm, and they should know. Try to guess the melody.
Yes, Natasha, you want to add something?
Yeah, I just would like to share some ideas from American students. They are rather into like doing these rhythm things with cups. Maybe you already watched some beautiful videos about this cup music, and that's really engaging. Beautiful, yes. Yes, they are very engaging. There are a lot of tutorials, you can check them out. And one more thing, or if you're short of time, the best thing to do in the end of the lesson, or maybe in the beginning of the lesson, just to sing "We Will Rock You," because this is the well-known rhythm.
Yes.
So this is the best.
Yeah, thank you for this information. So let's move on. The next group, Anna Sikorina and Oksana Melnikova, group 6.
Hello, we're going to talk about the town planning, and let me show you the screen. All right, so this is a topic from Superminds 5, and we have to make students speak more, and they are supposed to be able to do it. So first we have in exercise 1, we have a short text. We would like to let students to read this text individually and then discuss some questions with them, with the whole class. And the idea of this text is, this is about planners, town planners. The children, the students are going to take this role in this lesson, and so the idea also of this text is to represent that what we our teachers, I think, should ask a question: what should there be in a town to let people live happily? Because at the end we have this so that people are happy to live in the town. So the question sounds like, what do we need to let people live happily in a town? And the students have to brainstorm this idea. We could also make a, I think, a table on the board to let them stand up and discuss it together. So it's important to revise the names of different places in the town, but I think it's better not just to revise, but also to sort them and sort the places by their purposes, because there are different purposes of of places, and this makes and when people have all of them, this makes them live happily in a town. So for example, we can have some places for having fun, relaxation, work, studying, doing sport, things like that. So they have this well, they brainstorm these ideas, make this table, and complete this with the names of places. So they are going to do it all together on the board. Then in exercise 2, we would like them to work in pairs or mini groups. It depends on the number of students in a group. But this is not an individual work. So here we have this small table. We would like the students to copy this table in their notebooks and to complete this with the professions. And they have them in these pictures, and maybe the students will think of some more professions that are not in the pictures. And also it would be good if they could remember and think of some more different places, and also think of people that work in them. Then Oksana, would you like to proceed or shall I?
Okay, I can start. So on the next page, we can see different couples or people. And before I start do this task, we can describe this picture and discuss together what places do they need. And they do this task individual, and after that they start to work in pairs or in group and discuss what list of places they have and explain why. For example, we can see the girl, she needs school because she's a kid, for example. And after that, they write their own list, and we discuss together. So they say that the school is the most important for me because I like studying. So they speak a lot. And after that, unfortunately, we don't have enough time to discuss it with Anne, but I had the idea that we are going to draw one plan together on a board, for example. So we listen their ideas, what is the most important for each student, and we have one list of the most popular important places, and they can draw their one plan, their town. So school, work, and they, for example, we choose 6 places, one place for one student, and they draw.
Sorry, I would like to add that maybe that would be good to draw. I just like the idea, your idea, Helena, the studio welcome, and because they are all familiar with this place, and maybe that would be a good one to draw this area, because usually students live close to it and they know all the shops, the names, and they would be aware. So it depends, but we would like to create one map on the board. But the questions, I guess it would be better if they would discuss them in pairs or mini groups, because they have to decide which three changes they would like to add in this area, and comment on this, how it would improve it. So because
that's the interesting idea.
Yeah,
yes.
debates.
And
So,
also, look, exercise 2 at page 78, you can make it more competitive. You can divide them into groups, for example, and in the groups they brainstorm, so the jobs, so where these people can work, and those who have more jobs for a certain place win. So
yeah,
a bit
sort of
competitive
a competition.
task. Yeah. Okay, thank you, girls. So the next group, Konstantin, you're welcome.
Uliana, will you go ahead? Because I'm a layman.
I think Uliana has left. So you're alone.
No way, no way. Okay, I got 3 minutes before my student, okay?
Mm-hmm. So demonstrate the screen.
Our topic is map reading. For a start, we could ask them how often they use maps in their life, which maps, Google Maps or Yandex Maps or other maps. For a warm-up activity, we should revise map vocab, what words they know, and check if they know the words in the key on the map. And if they don't know some word, their partner should explain it in gesture. If they can't, the teacher should do it. Then we should check their understanding of directions like north and south. And in an activity, they could, one student could point a finger on the map, and their partner tells them to move to some direction. And we should see if they do it right. Then we might ask what they think about this map, because maybe it reminds them of the map they already know. We should also explain that on this island, directions, in their directions, they should consider not direct lines from A to B, but the roads. So they should consider extra time for the way, because it will be longer to move from one landmark to another. And then we go to grid references to check if they understand how grid references work, to name landmarks on the map in the format like D3, which I think is quite easy. Then in exercise 1, we should explain what scale is. That 5 kilometers on the scale correspond to 2 centimeters in their book. So in this lesson, we should develop their skills of measuring and scaling distances. What else? And finally, they draw their local map, a map of their neighborhood, and their partner, like he's invited, asks how to get to their place. And the one who invites shows their partner how to get, using landmarks, directions, estimating routes, corners, streets, and how long it takes.
Well, it came to my mind that we can use a kind of game, with grid references like ship battle, battleships. This to play it, maybe like to spend 10 or 15 minutes, but it will be quite interesting, and they will name these references. So I think your ship is in grid A3, like this.
Yeah, I should revive these memories.
Okay, so thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you
I gotta
for your plan. Okay, bye-bye. So, and the last group, 8, Natasha and Lera.
Okay, I can't demonstrate my screen because Konstantin is
Konstantin, can
demonstrating
you
it right
finish it? Stop it, please. Thank you.
All right, so just a sec, I'll find the slide. Here it is. So our unit is from Superminds 4, Life in Art. It's not very difficult, as I see it. And first of all, we're going to start with describing the pictures, as you told us. And actually, I do it with my students every time we have this lesson. But I didn't implement the structure in the foreground and the background. And I should definitely do it because in the text, there are these phrases in this blue text. So it's a good idea to use them in the first part of the lesson. So we can describe pictures using there is, there are, and in the foreground and the background. I can also bring and print out some more pictures of famous artists like Banksy, and you heard it that once I showed them his work and they recognized it. So then we need to clarify the word recent because they might not know this word. We can substitute it with the word new, the oldest, the newest. And we can do the task to number them from the oldest to the most recent. After that, before we start doing number 2, we can do the exercise on the word wall where students need to group the pictures. We can find 4 pictures connected with work, 3 animals, nature, and free time. And before we work with these pictures, they can do this sorting activity, so they get used to the categories. They know what they mean. So, for example, nature, for some people, it might be something new. And after we have finished this word wall activity, we can do number 2 with the pictures given in the book. Then we start working with the text. And if you have some time on your hands, you can print the texts out and the pictures as well and do the matching activity in pairs. So you remove these phrases, painting W, painting Y, painting X, and ask students to match the pictures and the texts. It's like reading for gist. After that, we can pre-teach some words, names. Georges Seurat, it's French. They probably don't know who he is, who he was. And some words like parasols, cave, hunted, and I guess that's it. Bright, realistically, so to pick up some most difficult phrases and words. If you have time, you can even demonstrate the pictures, the photos of these artists. Of course, if you have time and students are interested.
Or we can ask them to find on the internet paintings that they really like and show.
Yeah, it's a good idea to say the name again.
Maybe they have, they already have the favorite artists.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, so they choose themselves. Yeah, why not? And then we go to true-false activity, and we can predict the answers, because if they were listening attentively, they would probably know the answers even without reading it again. But still, our idea is to teach them how to find the proofs in the texts.
So they highlight?
They can underline or highlight, yeah. I usually allow them to use everything they want, pens, pencils, markers, whatever. They can color them with different colors. So question number 1 with pink, number 2 with yellow. It is more clearly for them, and they like coloring.
Yeah,
So it is
good
more
here.
engaging for them. Yeah, so this is the point. So actually, by the end of this activity, before we start true false, they have already know the answers. But we need to just find them in the text and highlight them. And then Natasha came up with a nice idea how to substitute this collage thing.
Well, thank you, Ler. One more thing added about this blue text with haunted. I would show, another picture to the picture X with hunters and with hunted animals, right? Could you just please stop demonstrating your screen? Just I would like to show you. And for example, we can explain who hunters and who are hunting here. Yes, with like one more expanding idea. And as we failed to do the last discussion with the project, I just spent several minutes and I came to the idea that look, it might took a lot of time to explain what collage is and to maybe find some old magazines or something to do it. And the lesson, it might be a home task, right? But I would use a selfie project, like all the teams are aware of it, and they're, I think, into making selfies, right? And I just have this idea. Like imagine you can use some prompts, you just elicit what selfie is, right, to showing some pictures, and then you might use some pictures of the phone where you ask students to draw wherever you like, yes, their portraits with foreground, with background, like who is in the foreground, who is in the background, or what is in the background. Students might, like something extra, if you again have time, might do it in secretly, like yes, and then they like I always like these secret tasks. They might have a gallery, or we might like have a box with their pictures, right, with the selfies, and then they pick up these pictures randomly and think who could draw the selfie and why. And so this kind of free discussion, so I think students will like it.
Okay, thank you for another idea how to use this model of phone. Okay, so thank you everyone. So now I hope that these topics won't be as frightening as they were before. Yes, and you and your students will derive more pleasure from these lessons. So again, thank you everyone, and have a good and productive day.
Thank
you, you too.
Yes, you too. Thank you very much.
So bye-bye everyone.
Thank you.
Yes, bye, see you.
Thank you.